Good evening. The greatest discovery of any generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitude. Welcome to BMC News Live in English, brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers. I am Vinod Narayanan, joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines.
Bahrain entry procedures updated. Second booster shot made available by choice for frontline medical professionals and adults aged 60 years and above. Bahrain recorded 100,000 Omicron cases, 14 deaths since January 2022. LMRA conducted inspection campaign in Muharraq. Booster shot mandatory for Saudi citizens wishing to travel abroad.
News in detail. Bahrain entry procedures updated. The Civil Aviation Affairs at the Ministry of Transportation and Telecommunications has announced that, based on the recommendations of the National Medical Task Force for combating coronavirus, the entry procedures to the kingdom via the Bahrain International Airport will be updated starting from today, February 4th. The update stipulates that all passengers arriving in the kingdom no longer need to present a PCR test before boarding their flight. Meanwhile, all precautionary health measures currently in force will continue to be followed. They include taking a PCR test upon arrival and the precautionary quarantine for unvaccinated passengers. The Civil Aviation Affairs indicated that all entry procedures to the kingdom can be viewed through the website of the Ministry of Health on healthalert.government.bh. Second booster shot made available by choice for frontline medical professionals and adults aged 60 years and above. Following approval by the Kingdom of Bahrain's Vaccination Committee, the National Medical Task Force for combating the coronavirus has announced that a second booster shot has been made available by choice for adults aged 60 years and above and frontline medical professionals. The task force explained that eligible individuals may receive any vaccine as a second booster shot 3 months after receiving the first booster shot. The task force also noted that the green shield will not change to yellow on the Be Aware application for this age group if they do not receive a booster shot. The task force highlighted that the national vaccination campaign will continue its endeavors to safeguard public health and called on all individuals who are qualified for the second booster to head directly to the specific health centers that were previously announced by the Ministry of Health without the need of booking an appointment. Bahrain recorded 100,000 Omicron cases, 14 deaths since January 2022. Bahrain has registered 100,000 Omicron cases and 14 cases since January 2022, said Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Manaf Al-Kohtani, infectious diseases consultant and microbiologist at the BDF Hospital and member of the National Medical Task Force for combating COVID-19. Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Al-Kohtani pointed out that 787 people passed away out of 112,000 positive cases due to the advent of Delta variant last year. He stressed the success of the national vaccination campaign in achieving its goals, which contributed to raising the immune response of all age groups, which took 2 doses and the booster jab. BTEA affiliates honored with Prince Salman bin Hamad Medal for Medical Merit. Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Tourism, Syed bin Rashid Al Zayani, the board chairman of Bahrain Tourism and Exhibition Authority, honored today 16 cadres from BTEA with the Prince Salman bin Hamad Medal for Medical Merit in the presence of the authority's chief executive, Dr. Nasser Qaidi. The medal was presented in implementation of the royal order and in line with the directives of His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, to all the competent authorities to grant the medal to the frontliners from the medical cadres, Bahrain Defence Force, the Interior Ministry, and all supportive parties who are contributing to the kingdom's success story in fighting the COVID-19 pandemic. LMRA conducted inspection campaign in Muharraq. The Labour Market Regulatory Authority conducted an inspection campaign in the Muharraq Governorate. The clampdown was coordinated with the Interior Ministry's Nationality, Passports and Residence Affairs, the Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Tourism, and Muharraq Governorate. The campaign resulted in the arrest of a number of violations related to the provisions of the Labour Market Regulatory Authority law and the residence law in the Kingdom of Bahrain. Legal action was taken against a number of violators. Arab Parliament Speaker congratulated Bahrain, UAE on successful launch of Light 1 into orbit. Speaker of the Arab Parliament, Adil bin Abdurrahman Al Asumi, has extended sincere congratulations to His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and President of the United Arab Emirates, His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, on the successful launch of the joint Bahraini Emirati satellite Light 1 into orbit in cooperation with the Japanese Aerospace Space Agency. Shura Chairman highlighted Bahrain's creative efforts to promote human fraternity. Shura Council Chairman Ali bin Saleh Al Saleh has affirmed that the kingdom presents creative and noble initiatives to consolidate concepts of human fraternity and promote the values of brotherhood and peaceful coexistence among countries and peoples. Al Saleh referred to His Majesty the King's reform project as a milestone in building diplomatic relations based on moderation and mutual respect. Bahrain joins world in marking World Cancer Day. The Health Ministry said that Bahrain will be participating along with the World and Health Organizations in marking the World Cancer Day on February 4th. The celebration affirms the efforts of the kingdom to prevent tumors and promote awareness of the complications of cancer. The ministry said that the celebration of World Cancer Day aims to reduce premature deaths 25% by 2025 and raises awareness of societies about cancer diseases and ways to prevent them, encourage early detection, receive preventive vaccines, and emphasize solutions. Today's COVID updates.
COVID updates brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers.
Biden joins Pope and Imam in calling for human fraternity. US President Joe Biden joined Pope Francis and a leading Sunni Imam on Friday in calling for greater global cooperation to fight the coronavirus pandemic, climate change, and other world crises on the second anniversary of a landmark Christian-Muslim peace initiative. Now we will be back after a very short break. Welcome back. Booster shot mandatory for Saudi citizens wishing to travel abroad. An official source at the Saudi Ministry of Interior said that, as per the constant follow-up on the epidemiological situation locally and globally, and follow-up regarding any epidemiological risks, and based on the recommendations of the competent authorities regarding the measures taken by the kingdom to counter the coronavirus and for preserving public health, it has been decided it's mandatory for citizens wishing to travel outside the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to take the booster dose of the COVID-19 vaccine for those who have completed 3 months since receiving the second dose, except for age groups who are less than 16 years old or groups excluded as indicated in the Tawakkalna app. Weather fluctuations to continue till Sunday in Saudi. The National Center for Meteorology predicted weather fluctuations in most regions of Saudi Arabia until Sunday. There will be a significant decrease in temperatures in some regions of the country, while active winds, formations of thunderclouds, and moderate to heavy rain in some other regions. The temperature will continue to fall in the eastern, central, and southern regions of the kingdom, accompanied by surface winds and a decrease in horizontal visibility. Sergio Mattarella sworn in for second term as Italian president. Sergio Mattarella was sworn in for a second term as Italy's president on Thursday after a drawn-out election last week that resulted in him being chosen for a job he was no longer interested in holding. The 80-year-old took the oath of office in a ceremony at a joint session of parliament in Rome, afterwards encouraging his countrymen to face the many challenges of the present, from the COVID crisis and the need for reform to demographic issues, opportunities for women, and the fight against racism. Madagascar braces for cyclone blowing in from Indian Ocean. Madagascar is bracing for a new cyclone even as the Indian Ocean island recovers from a tropical storm that wreaked devastation in last month, Associated Press reported. Cyclone Bastriel is forecasted to hit the island's east coast on Saturday with heavy winds and rains, according to Madagascar's Department of Meteorology. The storm has already blown by the islands of Mauritius and Reunion, causing widespread power cuts. Deforestation in the Brazilian Amazon at a record high. Around 360 square kilometers of rainforest in the Brazilian Amazon were lost to deforestation in January alone. This is the highest amount recorded for January since 2015, the National Institute for Space Research said Wednesday, citing provisional figures. The institute uses satellite imagery for its analysis, using a rapid survey to examine the changes to the forest in real time. At the COP26 UN Climate Conference, the Brazilian government announced it would end illegal deforestation in the Amazon rainforest by 2028. With that, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Live English at 7:30 p.m. every day. I am Vinod Narayan signing off from BMC News Live. Good night.